supporting them, I'm supporting the US. Land of the free and home of the brave.
Seems
So
like
everybody,
everybody supports the US.
every no. When it comes to
Women's football, yes.
oh yeah,
Women's football,
Well, they're
yes.
doing very well with
they're
that,
doing
aren't
very
they?
well. So I'm supporting them. A little bit of love for Sweden, but all of my love for the US. So yeah. So any bad thing that happens to England, I feel really sorry. Forget my smiley face. I really
You
do feel sorry.
you don't feel sorry.
It's just that.
That's
No,
rather than say
no,
sorry.
no.
All right, so Anthony Davis had 30 points, 23 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocked shots. LeBron James added 22 points and 11 rebounds while dueling with Stephen Curry in their latest postseason showdown. Well, the Lakers held off a late flurry by the Golden State Warriors to win an entertaining game.
Yes, so Mad One could have look. Jordan Poole had the opportunity. I don't think he realized how much space he had, or he realized how much time on the clock he had. But Steph Curry was double teamed, and he passed the ball to Jordan Poole, who had made a three earlier on to close the gap from 112 to 109, so that it would just be 3 points. So he passed the ball to Jordan Poole. He's like, you can make threes on a normal day. So all I think Jordan Poole needed to do was step a bit forward and then take the shot. He had the time, he had the space. This guy just threw the shot recklessly and wildly. Of course, he didn't make the shot, and then the ball went the other way back. They fouled LeBron. Lakers won the game. But yeah, they really did have the opportunity to tie the game and maybe take this to overtime. But it wasn't to be on the night. But it was a great game and great for everybody. Like I said, the minute Golden State Warriors beat Sacramento Kings in Game 7, and everybody knew it was a Steph Curry LeBron matchup, everything was sold out. It was raining dollars everywhere. TV rights, dollars, ads, dollars. And some of us that were staying awake, it was dollars for us. The game was exciting from 1 minute to the other. Just when the Lakers would think they would be out of reach, Golden State Warriors will come back, overtake them, and then the Lakers will grab them by the coattails. So the lead changed hands a couple of times, and every big player stepped up. Steph Curry was really upset with himself that Klay Thompson, that Steph Curry scored 15 in Game 7 and I didn't do much. I had only 4 of 19. So this game I'm going to Steph. He had 25 points in this game. Had a great first half, but second half I don't know what happened to him. And so I'm sure he's going to be looking at that and thinking, okay, I could do better. Looney again with the rebounds, 23 of them. So he keeps helping the Golden State Warriors. What they need to do is knock down buckets and of course make better stops. One thing they also did wrong on the night was give away a lot of free throws, and Lakers like to have free throws. They're like, thank you very much. They are one of the highest shooting free throw teams in the NBA, both in regular season and in playoffs. So they're like, thank you. Give us our bread, our daily bread.
We'll
We'll take it. So it's something that they need to look at. But great one in the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, though, Philadelphia 76ers, shockingly, without Joel Embiid, who is the MVP of the season, took game 1 over Boston Celtics in Boston.
Who saw that coming?
Whoa.
Who saw that coming?
I like my chest, but yeah. So wait for game 2. Game 2 is tonight. We'll see how they turn out for it. But if you're sleeping when it's time for the NBA playoffs, you're sleeping on the wrong thing. And I will tell you soon about somebody that's sleeping on the wrong thing. They're called gunners.
Oh wow!
You just have to put that in there.
All right, let's take the second
Before we
time.
get to the Gunners, let's talk tennis here now. Defending champion Carlos Alcaraz cruised past Alexander Zverev to reach the Madrid Open quarterfinals, but a third seed Daniel Medvedev fell to a shock defeat.
All right, Daniel Medvedev did not just fall to a shock defeat; he had another meltdown. And Daniel Medvedev has his own thing, but Daniel Medvedev he has a thing with the crowd, and it doesn't matter which crowd. He just always has a problem with the crowd. If you're booing too much, it's like, why are you booing? I'm like, it's my mouth. I can do what I want with it. If I want to boo, if I want to cheer, it's my mouth. Just play your tennis. Mind your business. And so he's complaining. So first of all, he's struggling. He's struggling against Karatsev. Karatsev had been in horrible form from last season coming into this season, losing out early in tournaments, not performing to the best of his ability. But against Daniel Medvedev yesterday, he just found a second win or a magic wand. he found something. And he was playing one of his best tennis. His athleticism came to show, his shot making, his shot selection, and he was frustrating Daniel Medvedev. And he played this shot that Daniel Medvedev was not going to reach, even if he was sitting in the crowd. But Medvedev got upset with the advertisement board, and he kicks it, and he says there's not enough space on the court. Now here's where the kicker is: the advertisement board was the brand that he wears. So he's going to answer some question with his sponsors.
The irony.
And then so he's complaining about the board and everybody just booing. And then he says he's not going to play again. He goes to sit down. That's how umpire begins to talk to him. Danny, please play ball.
Wow.
I kid you
Why
not.
are you throwing such a strop?
How petulant can you get?
This guy is something else. He plays good
Diva.
tennis, but his antics off the ball is something that needs to be addressed. He's the one that he was throwing a tantrum the other day. His coach just walked up because he was like, "I've had enough of it."
Wow.
So yesterday he sat down. He said he's not playing again. That's how chair umpire decided to encourage him. Daniel, please, let's just finish the match.
Umpire had time. Now.
I'm telling you.
You're not playing again. No, you have to
Umpire had time.
Please have to get paid for this game.
No, if it's me, I will call it. They'll be paid on when I showed up.
You're not playing. No,
They'll pay him.
We're going home.
I would have called the match. Game set match. I'm telling you, because he's given up now. He said he's not playing again. Anyway, they talked to him. He came back to play and he lost gallantly. So he's out. So he's out of the tournament. Alcaraz, my favorite guy right now on the men's tour, doing great things. So remember, last time out, Sasha Zverev squared up against Carlos Alcaraz in the final, and he was complaining that the reason he didn't perform so well in the final was because he played late into the night, the match before. And he was right. He played really late into the night. There was not enough time to rest and all of that. So Carlos Alcaraz was like, I just want to show you that it was not sleep that was your problem. It was that I beat you.
Oh wow.
Oh, he beat
Fair
me.
and square.
Oh, he beat Sasha Zverev like Sasha Zverev stole something. It was a horrible beating. At some point I looked at Sasha Zverev. I thought he was going to cry. Yeah, if you had just touched Sasha Zverev in that moment, he would cry. But yeah, Carlos Alcaraz dominant again. He's looking to, defend his title. So we'll see what happens there. On the women's side, my favorite tennis players, Iga Swiatek,
Of course.
will be on court today to see if she can get into the semis and maybe square up, because so far Sakari and Ariana Sabalenka are in the semis. So wait to see if Swiatek and Pegula can make it also to the semis.
All right. And should we go on to football or read a few messages and then go on the break?
Let's do football.
Okay. Interesting. And okay. Martin Odegaard fired Arsenal back to the top of the Premier League as the Norway midfielders double inspired a 3-1 win against Chelsea on Tuesday.
All right, so it shouldn't right now. Anybody that wins against Chelsea shouldn't be news.
Oh wow!
But we had to talk about this because the elephant is slowly climbing on top of the tree. Remember, was it the chimpanzee or the King Kong that kicked the elephant off the top of the tree? But now they've crawled back slowly and they're hanging on by a thread onto the top of the tree. It was a beautiful game, but I just want to ask Mikel Arteta, why can't your team play for 90 minutes? Because here's Arsenal problem. They either start the game very well and fizzle out somewhere in the 70th minute, or they start really poorly and wake up somewhere in the 20-something minute. Because that's what's happening. Yesterday, as bad as Chelsea were, they started getting opportunities in the second half. And I don't think it was down to Chelsea just delivering goal dust somewhere in the half. I think it was because Arsenal took their foot off the gas. And for a team that lost 2 games after leading by 2 goals and drew with West Ham 3-0, I don't think you should be letting up steam. I think if you can beat Chelsea 6-0, beat them 6-0. Just for good measure, so that your psychology will be up. Just beat them because you can. But somehow again, they stop playing in the 70th minute. So I think it's a thing. Either they start off well or they do not finish well. So Mikel Arteta is going to have to look at his team's concentration for all of 90 minutes. Because if you're going to win championships, this is what I say about championships. It's not that Arsenal do not have the talent. It's not that they are inexperienced. Some people can say, oh, they are young. It's been a long time since they've been here. No, I've seen teams that have been in position for the first time and taking full advantage. Case in point, Leicester City, when they won the Premiership, they took advantage. They've never been there. They're not going to be there anytime soon. And they took advantage when they had the opportunity. Arsenal didn't. It's down to mental. It's a psychological thing. They have to find a way to overcome that, to concentrate for the full 90 minutes. And so something Arteta has to look at. But they're up on the table. They may be toppled today if Manchester City do what Manchester City does, or they could sit on top of the table for a few minutes longer if West Ham helps their London neighbours. But we all know about the London clubs. Arsenal has been the best team in London this season, so I don't know if I expect another team from London to do better. All right, let's let's take one message and take that break. And the shortest message gets it.
Shortest message here. Okay, that's one. That's too long. Okay, this is from Adiyemi. For bringing Aubameyang to play Arsenal, I hope they fire Lampard for that. Nonsense.
All right, let's take that break. Now we'll be back. I just wanted us to do one message before we open the phone.
Excuse me.
Who put this thing up here?
I just saw Tega and leave it. I say, what is going on?
I think it's the algorithm. Okay.
Now leave it. Let's be looking at Tega.
No, show more to it. So I wanted to shoot a video, but I realized that I had shot a video with this outer coat before. So like, okay, let me shoot it with only the inner one.
Oh, is this today?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm wearing my gym outfit.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you know how it can be tacky.
Oh, yeah. What's the big deal if you've worn it before? Is it once you're supposed to wear something and throw it away?
It's too soon because it wasn't. So I wear this coat all the time when I have to go to somewhere cold.
Oh, okay.
That's like your jacket.
Dad, is that real?
No.
Sup, mommy?
Hey!
What?
That butt looks massive.
Well, that one is real. She didn't do anything.
Wow. Maybe she's from Ghana.
You can see that it's not taking the perfect shape.
Are you sure? Why is it so scrunched up by the side?
It's real.
It's the outfit.
It's the outfit.
If you wear jeans, you would see.
It's real.
That's not a BBL.
And that's not BBL. You will know BBL Bombo.
This
Not the ones that are done by Lagos doctors.
BBL Bombo is horrible.
I just don't know why they can't do the right way.
I don't even have a problem. So I don't even have a problem if they just add a little bit. Like,
make it proportional.
If Nengi says she didn't do a bomb job.
Really? I thought she did though.
No, she claims she only did liposuction, that she didn't add it to her bone. But she looks like she did. But that's a perfect job.
Yeah, because it doesn't really look.
Yeah.
A girl can.
We're not talking about this. We're not talking about.
Oh. You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Tega, Ayo, and Zibby with you this morning. 0809 444 0981. That's the WhatsApp number. Tweet at Smooth981. Catch the live stream as well up on our YouTube, Smooth 981 FM Lagos.
And whatever you heard on YouTube, it wasn't me.
YouTube. Let's leave it in the past.
All right, so let's see some messages before we go into the rest of the stories.
Alrighty, this is from AGK, and he says, we were told that last everybody go chop breakfast. Chelsea did not only chop their own breakfast before now, but just dwelled on it like some greedy folks. How can one explain that we have 14 losses already and can't boast of picking a draw against the resurgent Bournemouth? Bolly needs a bone, so he will roam and find his way home.
I'm telling you, this is so bad.
Wow.
For Frank Lampard, he hasn't won a single point.
This is disastrous.
Six games, 6 losses.
I didn't ask for a single win. I said a single point.
Wow.
Just 1 point.
So it's straight losses all through.
He does. This guy is not even a manager.
But Tega, the thing about Frank Lampard, I saw something yesterday. In his last 41 games, he has lost 31.
Yeah, so it's not a Chelsea. No, it's not a Chelsea problem. So they brought a bad coach to a bad team. What do you think will happen there?
Can we say bad situation? Why do we have to say bad team?
But the team is bad now. Whether it's the team is in a bad situation or the situation is in a bad team, all of them is
bad.
Bad is the name of the game at Stamford Bridge.
Bad Michael Jackson, bad.
Not bad Michael Jackson, bad. All right, let's take another message.
All right, this is Pius from Ebeda. He says, good morning, Smooth. Tega, please, I want to ask, in football history, is this season the highest numbers, or has this season seen the highest number of coach sackings in the EPL?
Oh, yeah, but the coach sacking has been a lot this season. You know what? I didn't check my records, but it could be because it seems like almost a lot of teams have fired coaches, and some teams have fired multiple coaches, so it makes it adds to the number. Like Tottenham
does.
was fired twice.
Yes.
You know, Leeds United has fired 2 times or 3 times.
I think it's-
You know, Wolves have fired. So I think that's what makes it. Some teams have fired multiple
It's
times.
ridiculous.
So if I check, it could be.
Okay, he also adds here, please update me on on Man United. Are Glazers willing to sell?
Hey, so it appeared at some point they were going to sell, but even the UK is frustrating them. I think, in fact, maybe that's why Chelsea are losing, because the UK did Roman Abramovich strong thing, and now they want to try it with Manchester, because which is why they brought all those their Saudi laws that if you are part of people that have done something with human rights, it was targeted at Saudi buyers. So so they're making it so Manchester could sell, but the people that can afford to buy Manchester, England and the UK laws are making it hard.
Wow.
So it's
Just frustrating
ridiculous.
the process.
Yeah, just frustrating the process. All right, so let's take some more stories.
All right, let's talk about Real Madrid falling to a 2-0 defeat at Real Sociedad on Tuesday, leaving the champions 14 points behind the La Liga leaders, Barcelona, with 5 games remaining.
All right, so whilst I understand completely that a lot of players had to miss the Real Madrid game through injuries and suspension, you know, in Vinicius' case. And they also have to think about the fact that they're playing the Copa del Rey final and the Champions League within a few days or hours of each other, which is ridiculous because La Liga should have helped them out with one thing. And so they had to make changes. I always say this: if you're earning a salary at a club, be prepared to die on the line. I don't care if you've not played for 10 games. The minute they call up your number, show the coach why he should pick you more regularly. And for me, I don't see enough players doing that. And that's what happened to Real Madrid yesterday. Yes, you can blame the fact that Militao gave the ball away and it led to the first goal, but that's not the issue. They also did not create enough chances to even score. So Real Madrid, and the reason why this has a greater impact is that Real Madrid are just 2 points ahead of Atletico Madrid, and because they lost yesterday, Atletico Madrid play today against Cádiz at home, and if they win their game, then Real Madrid drops to third. So at the end of the day, this thing has bigger, wide-reaching consequences. So as a team, I totally understand Ancelotti dropping some players. I don't understand why the players that he chose didn't step up on the day. And Carvajal, for the life of me, you know you've not had a very good season. You've been in questionable form. You've brought out many, not some, many questionable performances. Then on the day you, as one of the oldest players on the team, you go on and throw a tantrum because somebody fouls him, he asks for a yellow card. Referee, you know how referees now get upset. I've seen referees do it sometimes, so referees ignore it. But other referees will give you a yellow card for trying to officiate the game on their behalf. This guy starts mouthing off at the referee. I'm not saying the second foul was not a yellow card. I'm just saying, once you mouth off at the referee like that, and he kept going and he kept going, you've put yourself in the referee's face. So even if you look at somebody negatively, referee can just vex and give you a yellow card. You know, it's nonsense that you do as an older player on the squad, seeing that your team is in trouble, seeing that your team doesn't have many options. You don't do stupid things like that.
You should keep it
So
together.
you just try to keep it together. After the game, you can mouth off, but just down the tunnel or something. But just try to keep it together. But he didn't. So tough one for Carlo Ancelotti. But I'm sure he's focused in Champions League. He's not even really concerned about that Osasuna in Copa del Rey. That Champions League that is doing it. That Champions League against Manchester City. That's the goal.
Ancelotti is a different beast when it comes to the Champions League. Everybody knows that. All right, let's talk Lionel Messi.
All right.
Now, Paris Saint-Germain forward Lionel Messi will not have his contract renewed at the club following an unauthorized trip to Saudi Arabia, as been reported by French media on Tuesday.
All right. So French media is reporting that he will not. The club has decided that they're not going to renew his contract. But there was also talks about his suspending him for 2 weeks without pay. That's also been making the rounds. But here is what it was. Apparently, Lionel Messi had PP. That's what I can call it. A private job to do in Saudi Arabia, and it's a lot of baby food,
With all the money that he's making?
Money is never enough. Money is never enough. If you're making money, means you're paying more taxes. So you might as well make more money. So Saudi called with a lot of money, and they must be paying him heavy money because he went with his family, with Anto. Yes, Anto and the boys.
So the family movement.
It was a family tourism movement. Um,
Were
and
they perhaps looking for new houses, perhaps for a new club?
whatever it is, we shall know it is money related. But he had asked the coach, and I think the technical director, but he hadn't gotten an answer yet. So, ideally, PSG played against Laurent on over the weekend, and they lost by 3 goals to 1. Now, if they had won that match, they would have gotten 2 days off. And in those 2 days, he could have taken his trip, no consequences. But they did not win the match. They lost the match. Shamefully, if I may add. Hakim even got a red card in that match at home. And so, of course, the club was not going to give them any day off. You're going to come and train. In fact, they're going to do 100 push-ups just for losing the match. And people showed up to training. Lionel Messi was on the plane to Saudi Arabia to go and collect his private money. so the club is upset now. They're seeing pictures, and it was not just the coach could deal with the issues, but it was also apparently the club owners that were upset with this movement. And I think, of course, Lionel Messi and the club have fallen out a while. At first, we're talking about him and the fans falling out, but I think the fallout started from the World Cup when Messi came back from the World Cup and he requested that the World Cup trophy be displayed at PSG, and they're like, nah, we can't do that.
Aww.
You played France in the final. How can you display World Cup in the stadium? Yourself.
Couldn't he read the room?
Do you understand? Yourself read the room. I know you're happy, but look at other people's faces. Even when he came back and they applauded him, Kylian Mbappe was not even there for good measure.
Oh wow!
Do you understand? So you just read the room. I think that's where the fallout started. But also the complaint was that if Messi can do that for the World Cup, why can't he give us this superhuman form for Champions League, which is what we're looking for? So there's been a fallout between him and the club. So this just added to it, and with all the rumors about him not signing. So it's a tough one, but Messi will always look. I don't pity, people that have means when it comes to things like this. I could say somebody is right or wrong, but when it's people that have means, Messi will be fine. Like anywhere he lands,
he will survive.
Anywhere he lands, he'll be fine. He will either land in a club where his football career will continue, or he will land in a club where his money will become longer. Whatever it is, he will be a win-win. So, all right. So let's take one more story.
All right, one more story here. Let's talk about Erling Haaland.
No. Let's talk about Naples.
Yes, Napoli. Yes, the delayed party. So Napoli will open up the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium on Thursday night for a live screening of their away game with Udinese when they hope to clinch the league title. Local authorities said on Tuesday.
All right. So the part one was take one was the one that they did on Saturday on Sunday, and that didn't happen. That jollof rice has gone to waste. All those pasta that they would have made. I can imagine all the cheese that they would have put on display, all the cooking they would have done. It's Italy now.
After waiting for 33 years.
And it didn't happen. So take two is going to happen on Thursday. Now, Lazio play on Wednesday. That's tonight. And should Lazio not win against Sassuolo, Napoli need only 1 point to do this. I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of cooking on Thursday. First of all, they're playing away, so which is why the fans have come to their stadium to watch. But secondly, they are not sure if because Lazio is playing at home, they're not sure Lazio will lose to Sassuolo, so not too much excitement. But there's an opportunity for Napoli to clinch the Scudetto during the week. The truth of the matter is they are going to win.
It's just a matter of
the question is when. All right. And tonight also, I spoke about it before, Manchester City taking on West Ham. So yes. The elephant that is holding on to that tree, calm down, stop squatting. Go and get your house at the bottom of the tree. All right, let's take those messages right now.
All right, this is from Aki, and he says, with the way Chelsea is going down, I'm choosing my better blues. City is calling me blues for life.
Wow.
AGK says, so Lampard should really get a starring role in any of the next James Bond flicks if he gets to 007 against Bournemouth.
Whoa!
This is from Cruz, and he says the elephant hasn't climbed the tree. It's the banana leaves we spread on the floor they're standing on. They had better not be deceived. The second position is theirs. We all gladly give them. At least they beat Chelsea. They tried.
Abi, Kings of London.
This is Emeka says, maybe Lampard should just quit management and just be a PE teacher. Or
Wow.
better still, be a football pundit and join the likes of Gary Neville and JB Carragher. As regards the manager sacking this season, I think Chelsea has the highest. They've had 3 managers this season and they are still 12th.
Wow.
Man. Tega, under Tuchel, Chelsea played 63, won 35, drew 17, and lost 11. Since Chelsea sacked him, they've played 26, won 7, drew 8, and lost 11 games. They have gone downhill.
Wow.
That's from the book. This is Bosso. Bosso says people won't still criticize FIFA baby for this indiscipline. If it's CR7 now, it
Exactly.
will be on the front page of all the dailies.
Well, it was on the front page of all the dailies. People should calm down. And he has been
FIFA
suspended
baby.
without pay. So you can't call him FIFA baby because
FIFA
he's not protected. He's not anything. It's on the front page of everywhere.
FIFA baby.
This is from Chimaobi Victor, and he says, Tega, do you see the way we smashed Chelsea last night? The EPL is not over yet. Well, for Napoli, I see them clinching the title this week. And as for Lionel Messi, he will surely be fine, and I won't be surprised if he ends up playing for Real Madrid come next season.
Okay.
Real Madrid, ke?
So Chimaobi Victor, he's already been fined. Like I said, he's not going to be paid for the 2 week suspension. And he'll come back. But for this one, he says the way you smash Chelsea, you still have to play Newcastle and Brighton. Before you start to be excited, remember those 2 sides.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for the locker room this morning. Thanks for your messages. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Tega, Zibby, and Ayo. We'll be here to talk on Lagos Talk that starts from 9 a.m.
All right. You didn't give me my 1 minute.